Stephanie. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Stephanie McHugh. I'm actually a WBFF three-time world champion.
That's amazing.
We're living and based out of Dallas, Texas. We love what we do. We do online personal training. We have a huge team worldwide around the world. And we we live and breathe fitness, honestly, and live and breathe these little puppies right here too. Not actually breed them, but we really do breathe them. They're like our life. They're like our children. So yeah, this is practically a pretty big gist, right? Like fitness. Fashion is also a very big part of my career as far as modeling. But this other little kiddo here, our little pups, are definitely another part of our life and define us for sure.
Okay. And how long have you been a fitness model?
4.5 years, going on 5. Recently, out of the last 3 years, has been my booming of my career, I guess better said. I started 5 years ago with the WBFF competing, and now it's blossomed into what it is now. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, what would you say motivated you to get started in fitness?
I've always been active and always have been involved in fitness. Growing up, I played sports. I did gymnastics as like my first actual sport and developed into doing more hands-on work with actual tennis and basketball and volleyball. Honestly, you name what I haven't really played, just to try to be active. And out of school, I got very blah. You don't really have motivation. You don't have sports really there to keep you as active and as disciplined. So that's actually where I found going to the gym and actually starting to learn how to weight train. It's very different. It's very different when you're trying to sculpt your body versus just trying to stay actively fit, So I would say very consistently hitting the gym. I would say a decade since, 10 years ago.
Wow. Very cool. Tell us about your background in bodybuilding. What titles have you won, and what's been your greatest moment in the sport to date?
Ooh, that's a tough. Well, I think they're all great moments. I think just starting the journey alone changed my life. I was someone that just wanted to do it as a first time, honestly. I just wanted to knock it off of my bucket list. Always got asked if I was a competitor. No, I wasn't. I just got that idea of like, oh, maybe I should compete. But there really wasn't a federation or a brand that I felt I aligned well with my physique.
Okay.
So I ended up coming across WBFF, which is World Beauty, Fitness, and Fashion. It's not just a bodybuilding show, so it brought in a lot of other elements that to me were much more interesting with the fashion and also the physique look. It's a lot healthier. So yeah, I did my first competition and I got addicted. I got really hooked. I wanted to come back. I immediately did the next show. And honestly, that's how my journey started within the competing world. And I did my first debut in LA. It was an international show. I went on to my first world title in Toronto later that year, and it continued. After I got the taste of like the world championships, it makes you want to know where you're really at after improving. So I immediately started prep for my international show, which was in April the following year. So this is going into a year and a half of already competing. And I was actually able to take that title. It was the Miss International title, and that was my first title. It was a fitness international title in LA. And there, I'll be honest, I kind of got in a rut where I got my title. I did, an accomplishment. I'm good. I don't have to continue. And my husband, oh God, he pushed me to continue. And he's just like, no, let's go to Worlds. Let's do it again. Let's continue seeing where you can go. And that was my first world title. It was in London. It was, I think that one was probably the most special because it was unexpected. It was definitely something, and don't get me wrong, you can never know if you're going to win. There's, always just a lot of hard work that you put into every single prep, but you want to win, of course. And again, I went in there just not at all, just blindsided, thinking I'm just doing it to compete one more time. And I ended up getting the first world title in the USA in quite some time. It had been in a lot of other countries for a while. And so it was that, I think, just really hit home, being able to bring it back to the USA as the world title holder and keep it here now for the last 3 years. So that's also been, of course, an amazing, incredible journey. So I can't say that there's really one that is more special than the other, but I would say that one is just a touch more of that surprise, like, wow, I'm the American that brought it back home, you know, and we're keeping it here. And that was my goal. And hey, yeah, we're here now, still fighting. We're going to go to the World Championships again in August. So that's what we're prepping for. So last year, that's when he had reached out, Bully Girl had reached out, wanted to do a shoot. I was in very deep prep. I was about 4 weeks out from my competition. So I wasn't going to travel. I was actually hooked up a lot with a local show that I host and you know, help with here. So yeah, I was like, you know what, let's just do it after Worlds. And it's been just a craziness, you know, busy time. And we travel for the shows now. We have a really successful team that competes. So that's what led actually to us building the team. So Team Dynasty was bred from all the competitions and, you know, people, of course, wanting to become part of that culture. And that's, that's what we do for our all day, everyday job now.
That's amazing. Very, very good. So why don't you tell us about your bully Brutus, who I see right there?
Oh, Bruty. So his name is Brutus. He goes by Bruty or Bree. He'll answer to really honestly anything but. He is a American bully. He is bred in Florida. We picked him up actually from the airport going on 4 years ago. You know, 4 years, a little over 4 years, better said, 4 years ago. And he's such a sweet boy. He's honestly probably the most loving dog I've ever had, but the most protective as well. He is such a protector. I have another girl too. She won't sit in here. She's a little more moody. She's a moody girl. She was my first bully. And she's a girl, so you already know. You get some mood swing. Some days she's all for it, and some days she's like, give me my space. You know, so yeah, but we have 2 of them. So one is 5 and he is 4. So the girl's 5 and he is 4. Yeah.
Okay. And does Brutus get to travel with you to any of your competitions?
Oh, he wishes. He totally wishes. He would cause a little extra, you know, just a little stressor on the traveling. And obviously housing, we stay in hotels. They're bigger pups, you know. I know they look smaller, but they're very strong. I mean, he weighs about 50 pounds. So he is definitely someone that can knock anyone over, and he's very powerful. He plays every day with the flirt stick. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It is probably the most addicting toy these bullies can come across, and he is honestly a monster when it comes down to the flirt stick. Jumps so high and will not let that thing go if he catches it. But you won't ever think that from this boy right now.
Aww. What kind of diet do you keep him on?
He actually eats Taste of the Wild, so it's a grain-free diet. He only eats practically high-packed protein. We like to give him the salmon and venison mix of that. So yeah, Taste of the Wild is awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, he always is shiny and looking glossy.
Good to know. Now, do you keep Brutus on any kind of fitness regimen as well?
Oh, yes, his flirt stick. He gets absolutely the most killer exercise. We actually compare both of our dogs, more of one of a bodybuilder type of working out, very slow and steady, only likes to walk, very, you know, slower pace. This kid, high intensity. He is, you know, athlete. He is the one that is doing jumps and sprints. He works me out, honestly. If I need to go to my cardio session, I just run this boy.
Okay.
So he does have a good, maybe 2 times a day, you know, activity, you know, flirt stick, and then usually a run.
Okay. And what are some of your favorite things to do with him when you're home, when you're not competing?
Honestly, he is just such a sweet boy. Anywhere we go in the house, he's there. So if I'm working, probably the one that gets me the most, and it just kind of gets you in the heart, right? I'm working, and it'll be like 2 a.m., and he'll still be fighting, sleeping, watching me work, you know? And like usually the dogs are completely out. My girls are out by like early that time. He'll be fighting, sleeping, watching me work. So it It is probably one of those down times because he's a big daddy's boy. Dad's the one that plays the flirt stick with him. So that obviously creates that big bond. I'm the one that runs him. So it keeps it balanced, but he also is always by his side as well. So if we're kind of split in the house, he doesn't know what to do. He just ends up like wherever I go, and then he goes and checks on him, and he stays with him, and he comes and checks on me. So he doesn't know what to do in the house whenever we're both home, which we're always home. And to answer some of that, like the traveling, we kennel them. We put them in a doggy hotel. You know, we put them in a place where they actually get playtime. They actually, you know, have their own room, their own bed, so they don't get just put up.
Okay, very cute. All right, let's switch back to fitness. What are some of the qualities you think have helped you reach your goals?
Resilience. Resilience. I mean, you've got to be so resilient in this kind of, you know, just type of lifestyle, because there's days you're not gonna be motivated. There's days that you're just gonna want to not do the extra work, and discipline really kicks in, but resilience to fight those harder times, the thoughts, you know, really surroundings. People don't realize how hard it is to adapt to different surroundings when you're trying to achieve a different lifestyle goal. Because at the end of the day, it's a lifestyle goal that you're still going to be, you know, really attaining, because it's a process. And that's why it's called a journey. And the journey doesn't stop. It just continues. Even after the competition, what are you going to do? You're just going to stop? You're going to stop training? Or are you going to just give up and just completely, you know, stop everything that you had built up? No. So you want to continue progressing. And for me, the times that got tough, yeah, I definitely had to fight. And I think fighting mentally and just mental strength has been the biggest key component against me and other competitors. Being mentally strong is going to get you through the physical, sometimes thoughts, negative thoughts that come into, you know, your mind. Some girl can look absolutely amazing and her self-esteem is just low to the ground. And that by no means mean that I have high self-esteem. I think we all battle with self-image, but it's about your strength, mental strength, your resilience. Are you willing to fight every single day for you, not for the end goal? It's for you, because that end goal is going to change. That's why it's a journey. Yeah.
Love that answer. Absolutely right, for sure. So diet is obviously a big part of this. So what is your favorite healthy food or healthy meal?
I love my breakfast. I absolutely love it. I think that a lot of people can relate to that. Oatmeal, you can never go wrong with some good old oats, which oats can be converted into so many different recipes, like protein pancakes, some type of cream of wheat, you know, type of mix, like if you like some, you know, porridge, you know. So there's just different little mixes you can do with oats. I personally love that meal. And protein pancake specifically. I think that one's my go-to.
Very good. All right. So now getting on the opposite side of it, what is your favorite cheat meal?
Pizza. That is no brainer. I think that BJ's specifically, BJ's pizza.
Okay. Very good.
I grew up on
what advice do you have for young women who are trying to get into fitness?
Honestly, never stop fighting. Stay consistent. Try evolving every single day. Don't stay, you know, within the same type of technique. Go out, venture, try new things, different variations. And again, consistency is the biggest key to your success in this. You have to stick with it. No matter what it is that you do. If you stick it to a different method, stick to it. Don't just stop. You'll never reap the benefits unless you stick to it.
Absolutely. Very good. Are you still able to train even with all the gyms being closed?
Yes, you've got a body, you've got a gym. That's definitely the easiest thing. You've got yourself, you've got so many different things at the house that weigh. Quick example, if anyone wants just a quick trick, using water gallon jugs. Filling them up with water. Water is a great way to add your own weight. You can, you know, actually maneuver it by adding half of the amount if you needed less weight, or fill up the whole jug to actually get a whole 8.5 pounds in a whole gallon jug, which people don't realize. That's already pretty much a dumbbell. and it has a handle. So that's an easy trick. In a backpack, duffel bag, so many different little tricks that you can do by putting a backpack on, adding some extra resistance that way, doing a duffel bag and having it for deadlifting. Like there's just so many different little methods you could do from the house. So there's a will, there's a way.
100%. I agree. Who do you look up to in the fitness or bodybuilding world?
Oof, that's a tough one. There's a lot of, good role models. In the fitness world, I would honestly say my husband, because every single day, and not only just the decade that I've been training with him, he's not only shown me and taught me everything that I know to this day, and I've evolved into the fitness model and fitness coach I am now, from learning from him and everything that he's been able to instill in my regimen and my routine, watching him coach others. It's inspirational as being able to see also the level of aesthetics and level of athleticism that he's able to do impressively. My jaw will drop the majority of the time, like, well, how the hell can you do that? And I think out of everyone I've met, and of course I haven't met all my role models, right? But I think that this would be the biggest one in my life for the fitness world, for sure.
So you keep each other motivated?
Yes, every day. I mean, if it's not him motivating me, I think it's vice versa. We all have bad days. There's days, like I said, we don't want to train, but if I'm training, he's going to join me, and same thing. The day I don't want to train, I'm going to join him. He's training. He's motivated to do it. I'm just going to get something done, and also just the support system. He's always believed in me just as much as my mom, which says a lot, like he's just one of those that pushes me to strive, to be my best potential, to be my best self. And which leads me to my biggest role model is my mom. That's out of the fitness world, out of anyone that can give you a physical thing, right? It's just like the emotional, the spiritual, the leadership, everything that they taught you as a role model as a little kid. Definitely my mother would be my all-time biggest role model.
Beautiful. We all love our moms, right? So tell me about some of your goals that you had for this year, and if any of them have changed because of the global pandemic that we're facing.
I had big goals for our team, our company. That was probably the biggest. They'll throw off and postponement, and I say postponed because it's not canceled. I'm not looking at it that way. We're still moving them out, later in the year, rolling all that stuff out. But for me, personal goals, it was to go to the World Championships. And because it's in August, we're just hoping and praying, and staying as positive as possible that everything is still going to go on, that hopefully all this does get cleared up by the August month, and that we're able to just continue with, what our goal. And we have that as our goal now. Like, I wake up every day and I still think of, I'm prepping for the World Championships, not letting me excuse myself out from it just because of what's going on, and then being like, oh crap, it really did open up and we're good to go and I'm not ready, and I slacked, I could have done better. Definitely not going to be the case I want to experience as we go into it. So I have the same mentality of going into Worlds. And for the team, like I said, we're just moving down some of the scheduled events and things that we had planned for our company launching, and I think everything should just be held off a bit, but not really stopped. So I think that for now, biggest change has been the gym. I think that was the biggest, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting to not have access to the gym, but that's okay because we were going to be able to adapt to the new circumstance. We're going to have to work a little harder, but that's okay by me.
Very good. And that's a great mindset to have, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will be fine by the summertime.
And if it's not, it's just going to be postponed. Same concept. We're at least ahead of the curve. We're ready. And we just, continue till the date comes that we can have the World Championship. So my goal is still by the end of the year. Hopefully it still happens, even if it is moved to the end of the year to be safe. It is an international show. I understand that that's going to be more sensitive rather than just the States and, locally. So because of that, I'm even, assuming that may be the biggest case. They may move it down a few months, and I'm okay with that. I'll be ready.
Beautiful. Love that. What other interests or hobbies do you have aside from fitness, if any?
Music, I think, would be the biggest. You know, who doesn't love music? I think if I don't have music playing in the background, I just find it eerie, very, very silent, and just vibe is dead. So I'm all about music. Growing up around music was very, very key. You know, I think that helped, had me very close to it was playing piano growing up. So because of that, you just kind of get very lost within, you know, different type of rhythms and different lyrics. And so for me, music can be my second escape aside from fitness, for sure.
Beautiful. Love music. What is your favorite quote, if you have one?
There's a few, but let's see, one of my all-time, it's not the strongest person that, you know, comes out on top. It's usually the person that never gives up. So that to me is always resounded very loud and clear, because even if you don't win, you didn't lose. You win or you learn. You know, I think that's my other biggest one too, is there is no losing. It's winning and learning. And I think that has always kept me going. What did you learn from this experience, and how are you going to improve?
Love that. So motivational. And all right, so what do you think of Bully Girl magazine?
Oh, I heard you there. Oh, I think it's such a great concept. I love it. I love going through it. I think the breeds are just, oh my God, who doesn't want to see these sweet puppies? And they're just beautiful markings and different sizes and just different. I think that is one of the biggest things. And I mean, females, of course, being very, very marketable as well. I think that's also a nice touch that you guys have had in the mix. I mean, a lot of people are looking for, you know, good looking girls, and also having some beautiful pups. And I love that you guys were able to connect information, lifestyle, and also the pups all in one. Love
it. And did you know that Bully Girl has an app now?
I heard. I thought it was so great to be able to, okay, I'm going to take advantage, because I do know that people are always going to be, you know, putting on their pups up for, you know, breeding, or of course sell. And we're not looking to buy, but we are looking to make this boy, and we're going to be, you know, potentially, you know, finding someone soon and make sure that he has some offspring is better said.
Well, he is absolutely beautiful, and so are you. Thank you so, so much for speaking to me. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, and I wish you nothing but good things in the future. Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate the magazine, and, you know, of course, this little kid here. So I'm sure you guys will all eventually see him more hyper and more not so chill. Right now, he's laying a nap from his post-training. But thank you guys for having me. Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.